Today I'm making cinnamon rolls all the way from scratch. I first took warm temperatured milk with some yeast and a little bit of sugar. I placed it in the microwave. I did not turn the microwave on. I just put it in there to keep it nice and warm. Once the yeast became activated, I poured it into my bowl. I then added my melted butter, added the sugar, vanilla and almond extract, egg yolks, and the flour. Added in the salt. Using the hook on my mixer, I just mixed it all together. Once this was finished, I took extra virgin olive oil and put it in a bowl, put the dough in, and I just mixed it around until the outside of the dough was completely covered with oil. Adding boiling water to a glass pitcher, I placed that in the microwave. I covered up my dough and I placed that in the microwave. I did not start the microwave. I set the timer for an hour and a half. My dough rose perfectly, so I punched it down and I got it out of the bowl and I began to knead it together. After I felt satisfied with the kneading, I then rolled it out into a big square. This dough was so easy to work with and it was soft and fun. I then took my softened butter and I just massaged it into the dough. I just spread it all around. Once all of the surfaces were covered with the butter, I sprinkled cinnamon and brown sugar. There are 4 of us that live in our house. 2 of us like nuts and 2 of us don't. So I added nuts to 1/2 of the cinnamon rolls. And I'm telling you, it was so good. I used walnuts, but really you can use whatever you want. The options here are endless. You could put apples or peaches or anything in here. So once the insides were all to my liking, I just started at the top and began to roll it down evenly all the way until I came to the end. So to cut it, I start in the middle. I make one cut in the middle and then I cut in the middle of that, and I just keep going until I get to the size of the cinnamon rolls that I'm satisfied with. And that way it'll help them to be even and cook perfectly. And because I did do half nuts, half no nuts, I did put them in 2 different baking dishes. But that again is something you do not have to do. It is not necessary. Look at how pretty these cinnamon rolls are. And the smell, oh my gosh, is so good. So I made my icing while those were baking, and I just did a traditional, very simple, nothing to it. I used some confectioner sugar with some milk and a little bit of almond and vanilla extract. I like to make my icing in a container I can just pour it out of. And that's all I did was I poured it over the cinnamon rolls and then we served it, and it was so good.